Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's live stream. If you are just joining us here on the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Joe Pisani. Great to be with you guys again tonight. It has been really quite a day today. A big story that we've been talking about here the last couple days, it's really been unfolding, is the snow in this big trough that we can see here that we've got across the east that's bringing snow all the way down here, even into parts of Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Carolinas. We even had some snow earlier today. We'll take a look at that video here in just a minute. It is uploaded here on our channel, so you can be sure to check that out as well. Really crazy seeing actual snow falling from the sky here in November, especially this far south. Now, up in places like the Great Lakes and those regions, this time of year is actually climatologically speaking about right on target for when they typically will see their first snow. So we're pretty much right on the money there. But some of the snowfall totals that they've had have actually been pretty impressive. Some places have already gotten over a foot of snow that we've seen. And again, we'll kind of take a look at some of those and kind of the rest of the night and as we get into the day tomorrow. And we'll talk about, is this going to stick around? Are we going to be in this winter pattern for a while? I'm going to take a look real quick here. So here's the current basically upper level pattern. You can see we've got a big ridge out here across the west, and then a big trough here in the east, and we have some really, really cold temperatures to talk about that we have going on at this time. And we're going to see some of these temperatures here across a good part of the United States getting down into the 20s, some places even getting down into the teens overnight tonight through early morning tomorrow morning. If you are just joining us again, feel free to drop a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. I am monitoring that chat. So it's always good to get to meet new people here on our live stream, stuff like that. So thank you so much. All right, so here is kind of what we have going on. So we can see it's pretty evident here on the temperature map where the trough is, where the ridge is. You can kind of guess where the trough here in the east. And look at these temperatures. I mean, we're talking 80s out here in the west here, especially in the southwest. And we're really going to see these cold temperatures kind of hang on here really through the first part of the day on Wednesday. And then we'll kind of see a rebound of temperatures as we get into Wednesday. We'll kind of be back up into the 60s here, even in parts of Georgia by Wednesday. So, well, it is very cold. Thankfully, at least for the southeast U.S., it's not going to be a long duration cold. We've got another day and a half of this, but we are going to be seeing some extremely cold weather come tomorrow morning. And we're talking temps getting all the way down here into the 20s. Look at that plunge of cold air tomorrow morning. I mean, we're talking 27 degrees, 24 degrees, all the way down here into central Georgia and south central Alabama. So we are going to have some extremely cold weather here come tomorrow morning. Now today, it only got to about 40 degrees today, so definitely was an extremely cold day. We almost, but we actually didn't. We almost tied the record for the coolest high temperature, which was 39 degrees. If we had only hit 39 degrees today, we would have actually tied the record dating back 130 years. So that would have gone all the way back to, I think, 1885 or 75. So really, really crazy to think about that it was that cold here in the Atlanta area today. But this cold tomorrow morning, that we're talking about. I mean, we can see even out here in parts of Mississippi, we're well in the 20s, parts of Tennessee as well. Even down here into central Florida, you're just going to be in the upper 30s tomorrow morning when you wake up around Orlando, Florida. So break out the winter jackets for the morning commute tomorrow there in Florida. Even here in Tampa, Florida, temperatures may only be around 40 degrees. Then all the way down here in Miami, temperature's only about 54 degrees. So it is going to be cold. There's about the coldest right there. So yeah, this is going to be brutally cold. Here we go. 34 degrees tomorrow morning. It's actually getting all the way down to 34, almost to freezing in Orlando, and about 34, 33 here around and just north of Tampa. Here in the Atlanta area, we're in the 20s. I mean, we're talking teens up here in the mountains of western North Carolina, like Boone and Asheville. Those places are going to be in the teens. And that's not even factoring in the wind chill temperature that we're talking about here. So that is going to be another factor to really talk about. So let's take a look at some of these wind chill temperatures here that we're going to see tomorrow morning for these areas. So we'll kind of go forward in time. We can see here, I mean, single-digit wind chills. I mean, all the way down to 2 in some of the mountains, -4 up here. That's about the peak right there, 12Z, yeah. So this is around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern time, 7 a.m. Central time. Look at these wind chill temperatures. I mean, in the teens, even in the 20s down here into parts of Florida, wind chills in the 20s. That's just insane. Even down here in Miami, all the way wind chill, 40 degrees. Orlando, we're going to have wind chills around 30 degrees in Tampa, Florida. So this is a huge polar air Arctic blast that we are going to see shape up as we go through the morning tomorrow. So make sure that if you live in these areas, really pretty much everywhere in the southeast, especially northern Florida and points north, with this hard freeze that we're expecting, make sure that you are protecting those pipes overnight. Leave a faucet dripping, anything on an exterior wall. Make sure you've got a way to, in the kitchen, you can leave those cabinet doors open if you don't have pets, so that way the warmer air from your home can get to those pipes. So it is going to be a rough overnight tonight, potentially, for some areas. Freezing definitely is going to be a concern. So, again, wind chills likely in the teens by tomorrow morning across a good portion of the southeast. Let's take a look here back to the Ohio Valley region and kind of take a look at some of the wind chills that we're going to be expecting up in these areas tomorrow morning. So we can see here again 10, 15 degree wind chills up here in Ohio, 0 to even some places where we could see some negative number wind chills in the higher elevations of the mountains of the Appalachians. You can see here where this purple shading is. These are our single digit or less wind chills there in the mountains. So this is going to be a huge cold shot of air as we work our way through the day tomorrow. If you're just joining us, welcome to the live stream. Leave a comment in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to ask a question. We can definitely be able to get to answer those questions for you guys as we go through. So that's kind of the short term as far as what we're expecting tonight through the day tomorrow. I do want to talk about a little bit more of the long-term pattern here. Let's come back out here to our national view, because we are going to see things kind of temper out here for much of the country as we get toward the latter half of this week. So obviously, as you can see here right now, we've got this big trough and ridge across the west, And we're going to see those cold temperatures tomorrow morning. Let's actually come back to our temperatures. These are wind chills. Here we go. So we've got these cold temperatures that we're going to be experiencing through the day tomorrow. It will be warmer tomorrow than it was yesterday. Temperatures will probably get up into the low to mid 40s here in the southeast. Up in the northeast, though, there are going to be some places that may not break the freezing mark. We are expecting that snow to kind of move out of the area, but it's going to allow the snow that's obviously fallen to stay on the ground here for another day or two across many of these areas. And then as we get here into Wednesday, we'll kind of start to see the temperatures moderate, especially across the southern tier of the country on Wednesday. We'll get back up into the low to mid 60s, 70s here in Texas, even all the way up here in the Minnesota area. We're going to get to possibly the 50-degree mark by Wednesday afternoon. Things still kind of staying fairly cool here in the interior northeast on Wednesday. So that's going to be one area where we are expecting the cold weather to stick around for a little bit as we go through Wednesday and into Thursday. But then you'll kind of see this big ridge kind of building here across the middle part of the country as we go into Thursday. And then Friday, again, a nice pleasant afternoon by Friday, especially across much of the southeast into the central and southern plains. Even up into parts of the Great Lakes region, we're getting up into some of those 50s here, maybe Chicago breaking the 50 mark, up here into portions of Ohio, and then even really abnormal warmth here in the Dakotas. I mean, we're talking potentially seeing some 70s as we get into Friday, all the way up here into the Dakotas, and really warm temperatures here across Texas. It's going to feel like summer out there by this weekend. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. As we get into the weekend, kind of seeing this big ridge kind of building into the central part of the U.S. by this weekend and bringing those nice temperatures back here across southeast. So we had snow here today in the Atlanta area, and by Friday, we're going to be seeing a completely different feeling. So here's kind of a map. Here's kind of a map of what we can see across the U.S. So we can see here is this big low pressure system over here, kind of right off near the coast here of Maine. That's that big Arctic front that's driven all the way here out past Florida, pretty much coming over Cuba. Even western Cuba is probably getting in on some of that really cold weather this evening. And we can see we've got abundant warnings in place and freeze watches in place here across northern Florida, Georgia, across Texas. And then we still do have some winter weather advisories for portions of the across portions of the Appalachians. That's these areas that you see kind of highlighted in the pink, where we've got those higher elevations. Those are where those winter storm warnings are still in effect. So parts of the Smoky Mountains, and then up here into the Appalachians in Virginia, those areas still under of those areas for portions of Virginia and Kentucky. And then we still have this winter storm warning as well for the west coast here of Michigan that you can see right around Hart and Ludington, the Michigan area, and then these winter weather advisories on the north and south side. This just on the west side of Grand Rapids, all the way down to South Bend and those areas. So you can see here we still have precipitation kind of ongoing. We still have some of that lake effect snow that is taking place that we've seen today. And again, like I said earlier, some of these areas have gotten over 10 inches of snow, especially across portions of eastern Wisconsin, they picked up some good snow. I know, like Kenosha, Wisconsin, down here toward Racine, Wisconsin, even here towards some of the northern suburbs of Chicago, they've gotten in some good snowfall totals. So a lot of the snow's advisories and winter storm warnings in effect. And we'll have to keep an eye. We'll still get a little bit of snow here, not nearly quite as heavy as it was earlier today, across parts of northeast Ohio, back into northwest Pennsylvania, and across portions of western New York. So some of the heavier snowfall totals are kind of coming to an end, but there's still going to be some lingering snow showers here through the evening into tomorrow morning. But most of it, especially across here, across the south, will probably be wrapping up around midnight or so. Now, what is the outlook for some of the long term that we're going to be seeing? So we can see here the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, pretty like what we were just talking about earlier. We're going to see a pretty decent warm up here, especially across parts of the southeast area. And then we'll have that bigger trough kind of digging in across the southwest. And really, I think the rest of November, I think, is going to be pretty mild for a good portion of the country, really for the next 2 weeks or so. So we've got those next couple days. And then as we begin December, we kind of see really this La Nina pattern kind of setting up here across a good portion of the country, with cooler than average conditions up in the northwest and warmer conditions here as you go into the southeast and south central U.S. So it is going to be interesting. Now, the next big storm system is going to be a couple days away. It's really going to be pretty quiet here for much of the southeastern U.S. We've got this system kind of coming in here across the west coast that we can see. And let's kind of play it through here. We'll kind of track the GFS. So we'll see how those watches and warnings dissipate. And then we can see here's this system that'll kind of develop here across the interior Rockies. We'll have another little clipper system kind of come through. But then as we get here, this is on the 16th of November. So in about a week, we could have a decent system here kind of developing across the southern and central plains. Nice low pressure system developing maybe across Kansas. So that's going to really be our next storm, big storm system that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Will be to see kind of what happens with that, how well that develops. Obviously, anything beyond that we really can't speculate a whole lot on or anything like that. But obviously, a lot of active weather still ongoing tonight and going to be continuing through warming up, which I am definitely looking forward to as we get into this rest of this weekend into the weekend. So that is portions of the Great Lakes and into the Northeast, and even up in the mountains of the Carolinas and the Appalachians definitely have gotten a good bit of snow here today. So early season snowfall, pretty. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to upload that video that I took earlier this afternoon here to our YouTube channel. So be sure to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, have those notifications turned on, so that way when we upload a new video, you guys can check it out. So, but that's pretty much all I got for tonight. I just wanted to come on here, kind of talk about what we're expecting here with the rest of this cold snap. So make sure you've got a way to protect your pipes. Make sure you bring your pets indoors. If you have any outdoor pets, please bring them inside this evening, even if it's just letting them sleep in the garage or whatever. Get those pets inside, and stay safe out there and stay warm. We will catch you guys on our next live stream, and looking forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks for watching.